Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Guna for the Big Man Breakdown Show with a big man Nathan. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good man, cold, but yeah, we're out here.
Yeah, so first just want to get your thoughts on the Arsenal-Tottenham match getting postponed. We know there's a lot of talk about how it's not fair, but we've seen so many other teams doing it, and now it's us doing it, they're saying it's not fair. What's your thoughts on the whole situation?
Bottom line is, from time ago, the Premiership, FA, whatever, should have come in and given a rule, yeah? I know obviously they're saying if you can't fill the team of, but it should have been rather than if you can't fill the team of 13, because that could have been injuries, whatever not, which doesn't count towards COVID, yeah? They should have came out and said, look, if you've got more than 4, then 100% you can call it off. But to blame, that's where I feel on it, and I feel ethics-wise from Arsenal, it's wrong, but at the same time, like I think it was Mikel Richards said the other day, like every team would have done the same thing. So to stop that, and we're doing it because Liverpool done it to us, and then it's a pass-on effect and a pass-on effect. Like it shouldn't be like that, but we've done it because we're in a sticky situation. Me personally, as a fan as well, because I was hyped up for that game, I would have loved to have just seen it going ahead. I understand, obviously, we're missing Odegaard. But I still think we could have taken Spurs out. Well, I know we could have. And we would have done that. And now, if we don't, when we go to them now, it's just going to be egg on our face if we go there and we don't get the result that we would have wanted from having our players back. Because they were still missing Son as well. And for me, like, without Son, Tottenham are shit. And that's just how I feel anyway. Yeah. So, I personally believe that we should have just... But I understand why we haven't. And all these pundits and people that are jumping on it, Arsenal, people got to understand that Arsenal, they're a well talked about club, and anything you say about Arsenal, it gets a lot of views, it gets a lot of hype around it. So people like Paul Merson, Gary Neville was twerking for Sky Sports the other day, people like that, like of course they're going to jump on it because it gives them a little bit of limelight, and obviously they got to pay the bills, so they got to say controversial stuff. But to pick just on Arsenal, it's just crazy. So I just think now you've got to draw a line under it and say, look, it's obviously current pandemic. So draw a line under it, say, look, if you've got 4 or 5 players, whatever they want to do, that are out, then 100%. But like Liverpool got away with it. No one said nothing about that. Oh, Trent had a false positive. That's what it came out afterwards. But he was playing fine. He didn't even look like there was anything, so he's playing fine the next 4 days. No one said nothing about that. It gets under the carpet. Liverpool can do what they want to do, but when it's Arsenal, it's a big uproar. So yeah, I just think across all teams, enough's enough. Draw a line under it. I wasn't happy as a fan because I wanted to see that game. I was hyped for that game. I reckon we could have still beat them, because all it would have been was Odegaard come out, Smith Rowe comes in, yeah, and we still would have came at Tottenham. I don't think they'd be able to handle our attack anyway, regardless. I understand the midfield situation, yeah, but on that midfield situation, that's down to us, yeah. Honestly, if you look at the start, we knew this was going to be the case. It wasn't like African Cup of Nations came out of the woodwork. We knew this was going to be the case, and we knew from when Xhaka was injured, yeah, he wasn't, don't forget, Xhaka's not meant to be back now. He was meant to be, I think, come back in the new year, February or whatever, not. But he's come back. Yeah, he does something stupid, but we didn't expect to. We knew that Xhaka, we wouldn't have had Xhaka, and we knew that we'd have been down paper thin. So I mean, like, from a transfer perspective, we should have had that covered. So losing Odegaard would have been like, we lost him, but we still got our midfield intact. Because that was the main thing, and you shouldn't cancel games because you got injuries and suspension. That's how I feel personally. I feel we should have had some loan signings come in, and that would have eradicated the problem straight away. So yeah, that's how I feel on that situation.
Yeah, letting Ainsley MaitlandNiles go so early in January as well doesn't make sense, you know. Like, they know we're short in centre midfield. Why would you let him go so early? Like, if you want to let him go, you maybe wait till the 31st of January, you know? Yeah,
but I think obviously if another side's coming in, they're the ones that want him. And it's like, of course we could push it, but I think Arsenal are in a position where they want to get rid of him. So if a club's coming in with the stature of Roma that want to take him, they just want him to go there, play well, so at least we can command some sort of fee in the season. They haven't got obligation to buy, so I think they're going off the basis of go there, play really well, and hopefully he is a good player. Maitland-Niles, like a bit like Marmite sometimes, but he's got all the potential there to be a top player. But like I said, hopefully he can go to Roma. But I'm not going off of the Maitland-Niles thing, because if we was relying on just Maitland-Niles and Lokonga, then it'd be like we were still paper thin anyway. So really, we knew about this from the start of the season. Yeah, we should have either have been looking straight away come January. A loan comes in. It's obviously easier said than done, but a loan comes in, or some sort of player comes in that can plug that gap, that will play there for a little bit. We knew we was losing Partey and Onelli. It's not nothing new. So that's something Arsenal should have came in and eradicated that problem from ages ago. So we're to blame for the midfield situation, yeah. And if we had a strong midfield in there, we wouldn't have cancelled the Tottenham game. And that's facts. So yeah, that's how I feel on it anyway.
Yeah, so looking at the transfer window now, what other positions do you think we need to strengthen? Obviously, centre midfield. What other positions, and who do you think we should go for?
With a January transfer window, I'm not a big fan of it anyway. And there are positions that clearly we need to strengthen. But I think I don't want to rush nothing. I don't want to just sign players and waste 20 mil, 15 mil or whatever on players that will come in and will be like, oh, this player's not really cutting it. But we knew that anyway. I'd rather have a good summer like we just had, yeah. I personally believe we're 2 summers away from competing. So 2 good summers, like the summer we just had, another 2 of those, and I think once this summer come in, we have a good summer. Integrate those players in. We'll have so look at our team now. We put some real additions onto there. We're laughing. Now we have another good summer after that, and I feel we can compete, man. I feel we can really push. Of course, teams are going to strengthen, but I feel we've got a good basis there to really build on. And those players, hey, look, all those players that in the summertime, I thought it wasn't really a great transfer window. Like, we've got to have faith in what they're doing, because those players have come in and they're looking like bargain deals. Ramsdale, no one would have said that. The right back, no one would have said that. Tomiyasu, so no one would have said that. So they're looking like bargains. If we can have another great transfer window like that, and a bit like follow the Leicester model, man. Leicester have slowly crept up with signing players that have got a bit of hype around them, come there, done really well, and now you can look at their team, not so much now, but obviously they're building a team there, and that's the thing. Arsenal have got to follow that model, still get some really class signings in. If we can this January transfer window, strengthen the midfield, strengthen up front as well, then by any means go out and do it. If we can get the Florentina striker, 100%. I would love to see that happen. But at the same time, if we can't, then we can't, man. I'm not trying to. I would rather get in like a lone midfielder. Is it Mello from Juventus? Get him in the central mid, if we can. And then so that will sort of give us a little basis. And then come summertime, attack it. I would say we need, definitely, a striker. 1 or 2 strikers. I would like to see like a young striker like the Florentina striker, and then more older head. So if we can get Calvin Lewin, which is a bit optimistic, but if we get something like that, you know he's ready for the Premiership. Then in midfield, is it Basuma, the Brighton guy? I would love to see him, because he's Premiership ready. Let him slot in there. And then I would say we need an attacking right back. I think Tomiyasu is great defensively, and I think he's going to get better. I've got to give him time. Once he settles into the Prem, I think he'll be great at right back, and he'll show him more of his. I think you suss out the Premiership, you see, and he does the little things. But I think obviously, if we get in like an attacking, like what we have on the left side with Tavares, a proper attacking right back or wing back, then I think that would suit us well. I like the look at the Nottingham Forest guy, Spencer, on loan from Middlesbrough. And that'd be someone that we could just say, you know what, he's young. Is he going to want to sit on the bench? Yes, he will. He'll be happy to come into Arsenal, and just someone to have there, man. Like he silenced Martinelli the other day. You could say Martin might have had an off day or whatever, but he silenced him, and I think that's the sort of young talent you want to bring through, that is happy to be a part of the squad, will get some games, you can throw him in there. Those are the sort of players, and they're going for like 10 million. I'll take that risk. Those are the sort of things I'll take the risk on, rather than going and getting the Brighton, is it Lamptey from Brighton or whatever, getting those sort of players, having to pay. Aarons, look at Aarons from Norwich. He hasn't been that great this season, like, and we're going to spend 40 million on him. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather go to take that risk and go to Middlesbrough and say, here's 10 mil for Spence, and then get him in. That's me personally. So I think strikers, central mid and right back, 3 areas. we definitely need to strengthen, and then you can sort of. I would love to get in 2 strikers or 2 midfielders, a striker and a right back, and then we can strengthen the little bits around. It's a big listen, man. It's not going to happen overnight. We've strengthened it, now strengthen again and strengthen it. You think Liverpool or Man City? Of course, Man City won't have bought players, but Man City were buying players for season after season after season after season after season, and they got it wrong with a few players. And that's what. It's not just going to happen overnight. Obviously, with Arsenal, we expect things to be happening just like that. But that's just my personal opinion. I think January, if we can get in the Florentine striker and a loan, I'd be happy with that.
You're saying you're happy with how we're progressing, the young team. We can see we've got good project building there of Arteta. Are you happy with how our season's going so far?
Yeah, I don't think you can't. Listen, I think where we're sitting now and how the form we've shown, we can't not be happy. Yeah, at certain points, start of the season, lost the first 2 games. We would have been looking at, we was calling for Arteta's head already. But I said give it till January, me personally, and end of the season. And I've seen January now, reviewed it, and I said, you know what? Like, he's doing better than most people expected. You could look at situations like Man United, how much they've spent, the players they've got in there. Now they've got this Galactico manager who's meant to be trained Klopp and whatever. Like, he's not doing, and it takes a long time. So we're expecting things. We've got to trust the process and just take a bit of time. I'm not the biggest Arteta fan, but he's shown me enough to say, you know what, let him do his thing, and if it doesn't work, then we can obviously look to replace it.
Okay, and you think we can get top 4 this year?
I'm going to go out on my shield and say yeah. I think we went to get, the thing is, to get top 4, I think you got to be aiming for 3rd or 2nd place, or at least be challenging and drop off. It's like Europa. To get that, you got to be challenging for a Champions League and then drop off. I don't think you can float. Leicester have done it for seasons. You can't just float around top floor, and then because it can kill you off in the last 4 or 5 games and whatever not. You go on a bad run of a couple games in the Prem. There's so many teams. You've got us, Spurs, Leicester, West Ham. Really, Aston Villa should be up there as well. Everton with the players they got, I know Rafa's been sacked, but they should be floating around there as well. So there's a lot of teams that could be challenging for it. But I do honestly believe it's crucial for our next few games, because obviously I think Spurs have got Chelsea and whatever not. It's whoever can go on a run now. If we can get the players back, yeah, and that's why it's crucial we do get another central midfielder on a loan. If we can get those players back and we can just continue how we have been, yeah, I definitely think we can get top 4, man. Why not?
Yeah, we've been playing quite consistent. Yeah, we've been quite consistent this season. All right, we've struggled a bit against the bigger teams, but we put most of the smaller teams away. Been impressive.
It's consistency. Lacazette's been playing out of his skin, but I think there will come a time where we do need, especially in the second half, another 10 goals from a striker, another 15 goals from a striker, something to carry on over those lines. There's only obviously our midfield's doing great, but I feel, and we're getting goals from midfield, but I feel we're going to need a striker to carry, and that's maybe where we miss out. If we do miss out on top floor, is having that striker that's going to give us that 10, 15 goals to get us over the line. Do we bring back Abba and hope that? Listen, me personally, I would have Aubameyang, and if we can't sell him in January, I'd have him on the bench, stop isolating him out, and have him for that last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, let him come on and then do his thing, yeah? Wouldn't start him. I would say, look, come on, prove yourself. Especially if he's looking to move, you know he's a man that if there's money involved with Newcastle or somewhere, he's going to want to come and showcase his talents. So let him come on, and that's what we're paying him for. I'm not paying a man 350 to then be iced off and whatever. Not have him on the bench, sit him on the bench and teach him the lesson. You know, Arteta loves to teach lessons like little schoolboys. Yeah, have him on the bench and teach him. You know what I mean? Send him to the naughty corner, and that's what it needs to be like. Not have him out. You're paying a man 350 to do what? Drive around in his gold car. Come on, man. That's the point where I know Arteta's doing a lot of things, and you know what? At this time and moment, you know, I would love to have midfield Guendouzi, man. We got to look at that as well. And then we're gonna sell him for what, 10 mil? Please, man. That's crazy. But I get it. He's got problem issues and whatever not, and you don't want to. I think it's M Villa is it M Villa? He used to pay for. He was a French international. I can't remember where he plays now, but he was meant to be the next hype thing. But he had problem issues, and it can sort of unbalance the squad. And if he was doing that, yeah, 100%. But I feel Arteta, he hates challenging, or people that like, it's like, I'm the teacher, you're my little schoolboy, do not, otherwise you'll get sent, you're the naughty kid, you get excluded, and all that sort of thing. It feels like a school sometimes, yeah. And listen, man, I can't knock Arteta. If that's what he wants to be doing, he's got his certain way, then you've got to respect it, I guess.
Yeah, you could say that for quite a few years we weren't really like that, and we didn't seem to be like, there wasn't that control, that discipline in the team.
I feel Wenger could deal with, players. His man management was a lot better. And also as well, I think if you look at it as well, Arteta seems to be struggling with a lot of the French players, and Lacazette, not so much, but Guendouzi, Saliba, he's struggling. I think obviously Wenger was French, he used to bring in those players, he understood culturally and whatever not, he could incorporate them, and I think sometimes Arteta's punishing instead of knowing how to, his man management can be worked on. But listen, I can't slate the man, he's doing well at the moment, so if he feels that, listen, you can always make mistakes with youths. There's a lot of youths that come through the ranks and then they go off to, look at all the youths from Man City, go off to Germany and go off to here, and they become good players, and you're like, oh shit, how did that get escaped through the net? We're allowed to escape a couple through the net. People were in this whole thing of this youth could go on to be a Messi, could go on to be a Ronaldo, or they could go to Newcastle like Willock done, not do that great, he's on the bench. That's good. That was good. That was a good player to sell. Iwobi, 35 mil. Thank you, Everton. A good player to let go. Do you know what I mean? They've all shown some sort of talent at some point, but that next jump up from under-23s or bench player at Arsenal to actually playing, sometimes you've got to come away from the hype. What's the striker called that we've got? He's gone on loan to Middlesbrough. Balogun. People are like, you got to play him. He played his games, and he's shown that he needs a little bit more time. And that's the thing, and there's a load of hype around him. So sometimes we don't see what goes on in training. You've got to trust the manager and what he's seen, that he isn't ready for it. Obviously, we've got Amari Hutchison and players like that. Oh my God, you've got to play them now. Get them in there. Martinez, got to get him in there. I think sometimes, you've got to find the difference in the balance.
I think Arteta's doing more with that, he seems to know what he wants, and he's building us. Look at the defence. What was our weakness last 10, 15 years? The biggest thing was our defence.
Against Liverpool, man, we went down to 10 men. That would have been a slaughtering. But they all pitched in, they all put in a shift. Respect to every single one of them. They all burnt out on the field, do you know what I mean? Getting us that 0-0. And that leads to Thursday, man. Exciting.
Yeah, I was going to move on to that now. So Thursday, big one here, semi-final, second leg. What's your thoughts on the game?
You know what? Now we'll have 11 men, and if we can, from early, and it's a home game as well, just come at Liverpool, I don't think their defence is that good, anymore. Van Dijk, he isn't the man that he was. Don't get me wrong, he's still a great defender, but he's not the man he was. I feel if you come at Liverpool, instead, all the time that we've played Liverpool, we've always been a bit timid, and then we've held them for 45 minutes, then we get split open by Salah and players like that. Them guys are not there. Come at Liverpool. Really show them, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, just pace in behind. And I feel, honestly, we can get a result, man, especially if we can get an early goal. I don't want to sit back against Liverpool. I do feel it's going to be a game of goals. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I do feel we can edge them out and get the result. Listen, man, I think if Arteta gets his game plan right, I feel we can do big stuff against Liverpool. If I was prediction-wise, I think we'll win it 3-1, 3-2. And I think if we can start early, we can just dominate them. And we've shown, man, we can. I think the thing is, playing with 10 men under Arteta, he has given us that extra little bit of steel. But now we've got 11, we just got to make it count against them. I don't think they have really any guys. They've got good guys there, but their two main players, Salah and Mane, without them two, they look good still, and I reckon we can really attack them. They should be scared of us. If we can pin them back and then just keep on coming at them, and not take a foot off the gas and just give us the first 45 minutes and really come at them, then who knows, man? I don't want to see Ox or none of them, man, scoring screamers And I don't want to see none of that. Like, we don't need to be doing that. I don't want to see them having worldy games, because they're average players, and that's the thing. And I feel we have great youth with great pace, and we can really come at them.
Yeah, so one of the advantages with the Tottenham game getting postponed is that we've had that extra rest. So Liverpool playing on Sunday, and we've not played now for a whole week, so that's going to help us. In terms of centre midfield, so
yeah, but we had that rest against, and look what we've done against Nottingham. Was Nottingham Forest?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Rest is not always. Sometimes with us, I'd rather have played the Wolves game. I'd rather played the Tottenham game and whatever. Not, I know the Wolves game wasn't bad to us, but I'd rather played those games. Yeah, and kept up the wheels. Don't forget, we was on a run of games. We were on a good momentum. I'd rather continued that rather than take that rest and then allowed. You know what I mean? I'd rather just keep while the luck's up and we're doing really well. Just keep at them.
So in terms of the centre midfield, we know that Granit Xhaka is out, and we're very short there, as we know. So Vertonghen available, and then maybe Charlie Patino. If Odegaard's fit, or Evan Smith Rowe's fit, you could stick one of them there. What would you do there?
You can drop Odegaard deep into that position. Is he great? Is he good there? Not really. Do you know what the thing is with Patino? Is that against Nottingham Forest, I don't feel the players gave him enough trust. Because he was, if you watch his game, he got into great positions. He was creating great space for himself, yeah. But it's like we was just missing him and trying to force it onto Saka, who was then trying to force it down the wing, yeah. And every single time it was like we were just forcing. When the wings wasn't working, we could have come through the middle. And I feel that we didn't give Coutinho enough of the ball in key spots. He was breaking up and doing his little thing there. He was sometimes a bit lost in certain parts of midfield, which you expect. But sometimes you've got to let players grow into the game, but you've got to give them the ball and trust it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I feel in that middle there, he could have done a little bit more for us. So, listen, man, it'll be a big game to chuck him in against Liverpool. Like, is he ready for it? You never know, man, in case you do it. Like, you can drop Odegaard there. Me personally, I'd rather have a central midfielder that likes to play in that position. But Odegaard, the thing with Odegaard, he's a workhorse, so he will play there. But I feel Lokonga's he hasn't got the experience for that central midfield yet. We can't get on him because he wasn't brought here to be straight into the lineup and be playing every single week and whatever. No, we bought him as a good player, developing for the future, yeah. But because the situation is it always is at Arsenal, we're forcing him in there, and then we're like, oh my God, he's not ready. No shit, because we didn't bring him to be ready. We brought him in there. Of course, it's not an age thing because players are very different ages. But I feel we should have gave him a little bit of time in midfield, which we haven't been able to. So hopefully, if he gets his positioning right and he just works his arse off in that midfield, it'd be a good thing for us, man, because he does pass forward and then he goes sideways, but Lokonga does get the ball and go forward with it. So I think that'd be a good thing, man. I just think we just got to get really solid and just catch them on the attack. Just keep, anytime we get it, forward thinking. Like, we can defend, we've shown we can defend against them, but when we get it, I don't want us just passing all over the place. I want us to be going forward and just come at them, man.
Yeah, high tempo stuff like we did against
High
City.
tempo, give us 45 minutes of just, let's try and get 1-2 goals, try and nick some goals in there. It's at home, we're not away. Do you know what I mean? Why we don't sit back at home, let's just come at them.
Yeah, let's hope we can get the job done, beat them here and get to the final against Chelsea. And
listen, man, it'd be nice for us to have a nice little, you know what I mean, a final to get to.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the final. So I'll be happy just to get to a final and then try and win the cup. But of course you can't look past that, and you can't look past Liverpool at all. But I do believe that if we set up with the right mindset, we come at them, the game's there for the taking.